Hello and welcome to GreedFall II, The Dying World. If you'd like to check out the game, there is a link in the description, and this is indeed the sequel to GreedFall. This is now out. It's now out on Steam in early access, and, well, there's actually quite a lot already to do in the game. There is only 25% of the game available right now. However, that amounts to around 10 to 15 hours worth of gameplay. And obviously, throughout the early access period, there are going to be sweeping changes, a lot of additional content being added and created and all kinds of amazing things. And of course, you do get the opportunity, as this is an RPG, to recruit any number of companions, loads of different unique companions, and explore the world with them by your side. And there is a new combat system as well. So let's start a new game, and as you can see right here, we actually have 3 different difficulty levels. We have tactical, adventure, and story. So I'm going to be playing on adventure. That's pretty much normal. If you just want to experience the story and you don't really care too much about the combat system, then you can actually enable this option called Untouchable. And you can see here that direct attacks have no effect on your characters, but they can still take damage from effects. And friendly fire is indeed disabled. It gives you a little bit of party recovery, enemies do less damage, and so on and so forth. And so that's actually a pretty nice setting if you want to play the game casually. I'm going to play on adventure just because that's the normal setting, and we're going to start.
If you want this portrait to bear any resemblance to you, stop fidgeting. Stand up straight. And turn your head towards me. There. Hold that pose.
And of course, this is the character creator, so you can choose between 2 different voices if you so desire. There's a load of different appearances as well, as you can see right here, massive amounts of different appearances. And you also obviously have skin color, you have a load of different hair options as well. We're going to be going for hair number 4, I guess. I think that sounds perfectly fine. And then you get to pick your class or your character profile. You can indeed select this as a custom. You can actually decide for yourself what you want to go for. But for me personally, I'm probably going to be taking something like... I'm thinking maybe Wild Fighter. I think that sounds pretty fun. A mobile melee fighter specialized in rage and attack. You also obviously have magic as well as bow combat. So there are a number of different ways that you can play the game, and you can even play a healing character if you want to, or a supportish character. And you can see here that there are loads of different things to do if you want to create your own character here. So as you can see, you could do Path of Destruction, Protection, Charity, Weapons of War, Bows, and Tearfredian bracelets. And well, for me personally, as I said to you, I'm probably going to be playing with the Wild Fighter. I think that sounds like the most fun for me personally, and we're going to be having a huge amount of strength, as you might expect. You can, of course, change this however you so desire. You can customize these points and put them wherever you like, but I think we're fine with the default.
Why have you been drawing all these sketches?
So that your island can be appreciated by the rest of the world. Everything is new for us here. We have so much to learn, and who knows, the flora of your country could very well save mine.
Save it from this sickness you told me about.
The Malachor, yes. This is what I hope, in any case. It's taken so many lives back home. I do hope we haven't brought it here, too. I heard there were some sick people in the village. Let's talk about something else. This is the big day, is it not?
Yes. Today is the day Nilan and I begin our initiation.
I thought as much when I saw that strange woman appear in the village. Congratulations, you must... your mother approaches and she doesn't seem too pleased.
Fravidem amaraugum takasare noigse adiven. Kahole yesad kaids, quesa puisigach. Da regusag anedi essa. Adveld ole soneded. Toig, ment minan veluded.
I must leave you. Our chief summons me.
Go, go. But do come and see me again when you can. I'd very much like to hear about this ritual.
So, as you no doubt heard, we do indeed have an entire language that is spoken in this area. A lot of the NPCs are going to be using this language. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to increase the size of the subtitles. And there we have it. Alright, so now we can just move around. So basically we can double click if we want to. We can double click on the intended position and then we could just go over here. So technically I can actually maneuver through my usage of the mouse alone. I wouldn't need to use WASD if I didn't want to, which is actually kind of amazing. So if you're someone that doesn't necessarily like using WASD, or if you can't use WASD, then I actually think this is a really nice accessibility option. And you also, of course, have the ability to rotate the camera with the mouse, and you can move just like this is an MMORPG if you so desire as well. And otherwise you can indeed zoom out to this degree, and you can zoom in as well.
Sela heda, vorkento flan sabrichtom nuidom.
Nasmewinem vorken sindad da arsisau da garantamen. Na frichti korte sonegad.
Smein em fravind, velolto, et ja es cor da sonegad. Ariden ger, esto es sa.
Diewa daralwi samel sin aniloin. Tegede da elo mali minen kasin.
Ja, estugement radidaude hedet madia to rebneiso glendi.
Es vel em linquid to tegedach, esim nama ka hawelam. Nas ankenam da etenem alig da raidi ta flamam. Qua awelem seg.
Qua awelem seg havat hier.
Fravins em frank da dierna an hevigem. Wuterach, ma vridan deolt nes sed mat. Smeuin quisem se cavinanem samel nes diernam toflanem.
Esto ugesin, em navregen comarosi dwint. Tegedem.
Estrahem versagto. Radidendam sachen diagam da windluchton.
Gair? Adadordam se jagases radai de ragach. Naistalemi, a convenie frasi? Es radadore naikse jam linguides bei en mished daen?
Ja esa radida no convenda quena sequena. Voken quis a jechtam da jungarig vigi.
Das echter me em voglendna is junga de la renoixa. Sag broig de neis luchton ja is ten. Qui fravin ma berden varsa tenjesim miklodaig dequils.
Madits danida vuxanti, adiern, haval, adiern hach, radida der mens velude is.
Estechem da gom frangide da dierna. Es menilanem, agesines fridenem ger. Es nie voglendaiga.
Nilan. Es dechem dam kasin. Es meshedam. Voglende kaishedan.
Vridenger. Es les anumam. Muy crimodorik. Frichtik. Credo. Anilain. I voglendaik. Sago es esa. Si arula mai aidam. Tu si dame sara di doa. E varach a vinain. Con frangdis. Mi aniru ese maledi. Quanto ribadari malarededao a yoenga.
Estrag meem klosted saradida. Na mem eve mear mantiam sam pisrunoixa.
Sage sam. Rense danie dechem faruedi, daher camem far voglendi. Voglendis desases redis ed jaes radei emesto. Kiden donegada shantamen lag obledenen. Es rade madraig quahi luchton ten. Nas ordis da doiga araigi dem. Bud oleg loan di farwe di duis a magenta.
Qua avalem sega doflein. Quesce dem fleidas datusudi esin neis luchtemen jaquensend. Eska overschede a sonea joam.
Quid bud e deadmad jam bud radai dale dag?
Na fravinden ovegem, es runam donegade, sag voglendade, ed an de nachtem, laua, sed me van atoflanem, anondagam qualsheid em fledade. Ech red neis sonegad sen, ages olod moi crimoderega gam de hen on mil frictemen, tege dad ni mag. Ages radei de gedo, donegademan, da halinia rino.
Quid fravins mador ke hediernam havail?
Fravindel samel si gusudue, arole sonegada a heneseis samel dienem hach gedactas. Es crimo derek seva nau ca henesam, es mare se vis, ag find enon mil ficteman, ag ranon, moiolole hoela. Marca se viem si es na fravind marag, nama emsede vikshad hirem. Sageras de enclostedas, o sie hade segama va heleg suisi.
Manas tanguas rid. Quae vred radi descavevam?
Samo radiduquis, nacoidem amanteam samada cavernoxa. Lientara orgi, neis henesem, a contagidem es anaogi maragdent, sagnaole. Quedem es quinta agenta eleis rog, care de siendo venemen ulgemendo. Ages abimelam vas, andevarsem, noixio voglendi en mishet ni. Ami frogus moin vede.
Ja, es furcan carantam. En vaiert de cadide amice, el vogle ind marace.
Vorken dada dovar legu in comfarueda. Na smeu in emesfir da vregus in da sonegat.
Vorkent dam da dovarregu es vir. Asmeu in emes fuladem buda ad abarrag da nees luchtom.
Ad loreto, crimo derit ma vanteama, la linquident on a drog beesa.
Essa memem com frange medierna.
Farea dis adiuem dissima. Encar sed, e corei cam davani legiside ad echte gledan.
Allochedar, avoel. Vregame suleida hadesia quel scede mene vigi.
Vregde di jerne haar dech maar dat kagam frangi de tau glendi.
Ja, es mat goms wis me. Es e godon de henon mil frichtemen se on mishet he luchtom. Es voladem fletse da regu velugleo ariden gar. Ag vregu fors meunem de ta garantan renaik sadat.
Mat, estogem radid minan. Disam gaidamen lamen e cam ferta voglendi.
Ja, adierna.
Velmu cagiden codnade to seis. Nameundum ad nueri tortesia marauto.
Alright, so we get our first taste of battle, and we got a pretty significant amount of HP right here. We got 408. That's pretty crazy. Anyway, clicking on a target allows you to lock onto it, check its status, and attack it. With auto attack mode activated, your character continues to attack their locked target when they have no more orders. Basic attacks do not consume action points, but rather regenerate them. So that is your primary resource, basically generators and spenders. So, for example, we go here, attack.
Show them what we're made of.
And that is what we are going to do. We are going to attack. And if I zoom out here, this is basically tactical combat, right? This is completely tactical combat with pause as well. You will be able to pause, as you see here. In tactical view, you can study your enemies, think out a plan of action, and issue up to 3 orders to your character. You are not required to pause the game, and your orders will be executed without having to quit tactical view. And left shift allows you to unpause while staying in tactical view. Alright, so anyway, so we press space to go into tactical view, and this is tactical view right here. We've also got new skills. Take the time to read their descriptions. Obviously, we're going to be doing that. And we also have casting skills, so we can cast that with all of our number keys if we so desire. And skills consume action points, as you might expect. We have 122 action points at the moment, and they also have a cooldown. So the game is currently paused, so we can take as long as we like. So there's a destructive blow right here, which inflicts a little bit of damage to magic deflection, mostly does damage to armor, and inflicts 24 physical. And this has a cooldown time of 10 seconds. This, however, Roar of Death, on the other hand, has a cooldown of 1 minute, which is actually insane. So what we're going to do is, so what we're going to do is just attack here, and then we're going to attack with Destructive Blow. And then, well, let's actually see here. What is this? I should probably cast that as well, shouldn't I? So let me do that. Okay, am I already in that stance? I don't know. But yeah, anyway, here we go. So we are in tactical view, and if I press left shift, we are then going to be reacting. And here is Destructive Blow. Boom, there you go. His armor is now broken. We are now in the stance as well, as you can see right here. Increased damage and chance of critical strike chance, but reduced his physical and magic resistance. So we're basically a berserker. Alright, so our companions have joined the battle now, and that allows us to, as you might expect, coordinate our efforts. So you can plan out the battle by issuing up to 3 orders to each of your companions. You can then press left shift to unpause the battle and see your orders executed. You can press this key to change your orders at any time. Alright, so basically, you'll find information right here. That's always very good. And end the battle by defeating the Lanvrus. Okay, so we are just going to pause real quick. Let me just actually do that. There we go. And I'm actually going to be going over here. I'm just going to send my guy over there. We can select this guy. We can actually tell him to do a strong attack against this one. And then we probably want to select Shader as well. And I don't even know what we really want to do with her, to be honest. I think maybe Shockwave would be pretty fun. So let's try a Shockwave if we can actually make that work. And then we'll let it go. There we go. Nice. Look at that damage. That did massive damage right there. So basically what I'm trying to do is keep this one away from our archer, because obviously that's going to be the main damage dealer, right? You know, or at the very least try to. Then we're going to reassign every single person back onto this. We're going to do a nice little strong attack right here. Going to do a strong attack with my own character, and then we are going to unpause once again. So pause is shift, and to go into tactical view is space. So that's the toggle.
Aled toflan tomad. Na vregt for sumunem dorkeniem da argumedau. Suisies radees galdan adach, kagaishedon en vlaman. Ami frogu. Estradees nama relusem da huis radachtam. Dayam vregames tulanem no. Quedes donegada.
Es vogeloiga betus. Es radai dwinta ogelde talle mi nees hennesees.
Es vir. Sag vregende da dwint corem. Da wind luchtum. Monesained nees wisvar nees luchtum nees direm. Es caeren jam vogelade. De me vrang gemesin. Clos due quiedon tiri. Avel du colli lagachtas re antamen lag. Lemat, ad noedam dau tortendis. Esrade amaroigade, etenaisem de jam quent suis reena. Aragdis, ebunedem ayagam. Estortem ael jam ad noedam, dam fis huis direm. En enego somes siteneg. Sadiu est uvlerta viadidao ad luchtos. Asciende bivedamen. Argadis en ad bois yandawi. Milemen aberdisa bien varhas.
En velne dendere renoixa kaha ole de kad.
Clos dis me radidao cahuis valem. Vregdis suis vantem sies. Fravind ma his kenne.
Jo, sag ma elvelnedender. Quodes radeem vregar?
Bud radaiem forhuelmes kassem farved folad. Reum den contortam neis luchtom.
Es frande gadactam voquela ridenger. Mad. Tegadis noa gadregdis quantorebander satorten.
Es esaminam.
Alright, so we've now gained a level, which means that we've gained some skill points, attribute points, and indeed ability points. So what we can now do is we can access our inventory, we can take a look at basically every single thing, even our journal. We can take a look at what kind of equipment we have here, and otherwise we can then select each individual character and then go to their skills, and so on. So for example, we have Roar of Death here, and you can even improve these abilities, as you can see right here. So if I want to, I can spend my available ability point or skill point in improving it to make it so that, as you see, Roar of Death's targets with at least 75% of life gain a marked effect. That's obviously if we want to do that. Let's take a look at some other things that we have available here. What's this? The caster gains a Mighty effect, which increases the damage inflicted, 100% chance of applying the Mighty effect. Also restores hit points to the caster of reinforcement, if we have the improvement for that. But of course, there's another thing that we can take here as well, which grants access to skills associated with the use of one- and two-handed axes, as well as one- and two-handed maces. So there's also that. We can indeed get this unlocked, so we can have knockdown if we like, we can have violent charge. There are so many different abilities for us to select. Unfortunately, I'm not very good at navigating the menus right now, as you can quite clearly tell. I keep going out of them, so that's not very good, but you know, bear with me. So yeah, otherwise, let's take a look. I think violent charge is probably going to be something that I would think would be pretty good, or reinforcement. I think reinforcement might be pretty fun. So let's do reinforcement. There we go. And then we can select our attributes. And as you see, we already have a massive amount of strength. I think I probably want to go for strength a little bit more, but I am also going to be thinking about taking agility, because this is going to increase our dodge rate. Now, I'm not sure how effective that is actually going to be in general, because I am a strength-based character, and strength-based characters are going to be much better at using, you know, certain kinds of weapons, and maybe it's a better idea for me to just go with this, just go with strength, and just double down on that. Maybe that's a better idea. Anyway, you then have talents, and you have survival, diplomacy, stealth, alchemy, and mechanics. So survival is basically like perception in D&D, for example. So as you can see, it increases the chances of tracking test success, displaying important objects in the environment, and basic traps. Then you have diplomacy, which is obviously basically like speech and persuasion. Then you have stealth, self-explanatory. Alchemy is all about creating potions. And I gotta say, I think in the first game, in GreedFall, I think alchemy was really, really strong. Maybe it's the same here, I don't know, maybe they changed it, I'm not entirely sure. Otherwise, we also have mechanics, which is all about disarming traps and picking locks and so on. What I'm actually going to do is I'm probably going to be taking, I think diplomacy would be the most fun, so that's what I'm going to take. Because diplomacy is going to be great. You know, being able to persuade people in some way or another, I think that sounds super, super fun. So let's just unlock double arrow here for this guy. We'll go for a little bit, I'm actually not entirely sure what is, ranged weapons are really, really good for perception for him. So that's what we're going to do. We're just going to double down on that. She is basically our tank, so we are just going to be getting her some more endurance. And she also has skills available here, so what else do we want to get her? I think having probably knockdown is going to be the best here. So we're going to get knockdown for her, because then she's going to be able to basically crowd control an opponent if we need her to do that. Alright, let's go. And we have our first person that we need to speak to.
Beer tirtumad, they need.
Bir tirtumad. Is a kenam da ready dani?
Radid mev dier na har kadachtas. Dani siende biem de edon. Nas sitten.
Na fravin quad voglen sed. Sages vir sevoquel. O aginim qua salem fricte de bien sienda o de bedon. Da barbadam da veru dar neuda far hassad diuir fer. Bol crecti dau. Anamali keni anamar vila jam ludum seg. Berendet kom farweda kanaidir bar.
Traneugt quid betrichs wind grechan da anabali. Samel sin echter idedent quies.
Escolda regus a enama vetrechan erenoixe. Orgent, arenent da holeia esament. Estaugem toigdent cavila olaledi. Samel sakon, ja esenolehen niedem vedemenno.
Burufara cretin da rego arcon. Sac sienten farberu betrechem en ail. Anasto wigau a milementen, barig. Mende magalea quinak dactam. Adreg den quaha vedon ane arm.
Anna adregende reduven. Na brogde dwint.
Es el grendum frume de esa heda. Mas betraken barig. Es volla tacadeti diuen men fraga raigident.
Sie und mes tegedacht already. Es voladem oiragdent reques kenne.
Puslan suis lerg.
Mamendum de hoiragi kungubari agen ailimen es radeem tegedem de wind sunuset.
Adiarn to floin.
O die irn.
Es oleg loen me da elo duis sarenta. Quetient vregu da oredi duis.
Da daurebi neis voglendi. Forvarsche de dier na har. Da hoioragi buna dem etenia si de jam quens de vigen. Fravinduem na canta bed redeis mad. Sag na fravindem marag moi. Esca teniasem nui?
Ja, na vailo legs a confarweda frag. Toig dis. Bokiden morden, da gantabe dis a morkedi. Sadiu esad glad. Es vel da linquidau de vregu vasi. Esten slana, mas suchtir. A se venunt hanem morigan. Ages esa ent aurai dion.
Beert tir simad alana agad vurgan. Est fragmeda oglendi dead. Natugdu en quens de dessa teniasem.
Cantabed. Kodlad. Anna. Fabarag.
No, radit sino vorigan. Igidad matad ni kasen.
Es essa nida already de. Quod tu mi de tenois?
Ane tosum kaidun nama hagledem queni. Samer siadamon. Sagavetusidu kodi kotromachtas. Tasien moleg. Ageshred feshidach ragontortag. Es infantaram medagirach en moshayem. Anna fledach da hexregau. Kant habednem velnem laumat. Samer mas helnem en insistel. Haganes satoresi. Satladach ja esolog marach.
Mother comment au seed begun everach. Sa cantabidu sam.
Samelme.
Na metoi ta grimoderen karadi dawa bodein. Vego me de ta igam. Welt tir simad arenta. Forir esa glad moden. Es reidiuen anao siend kengu. Arvred vasem hesapis he vogelneis sonegadi.
Na fravindu em toiugs velu de sadiu adoid.
Na sienta yigi de. Sag sienten a begen en edi sege a bogeldi de.
Forir. Es ovun. Varem frangen der oila an vigem casin. Fared Tusendre donea da vuied an quonam maderka haglidon queni a coldi cotrumachtas gasin.
Quan tusiden suis haglidon queni?
Tausid kaval. Radiodum rademfrag. Sagane tausum bonama han sademin. Sag exred namames. Esco hovon varem. Da elum ordeni ensa com lorgem.
Bud vel ma vregdem requis mader keid moimach. Sag nas me undem bo requis antrum.
Smiund moden casin, en bonama rara jabad barnen ab. Smoinem exre de loxen kruns revegen, a klostu agunas da hei kiden vegem.
Ested requis nui? Lenganem anidargned?
Farnas de herre Nykse?
Nej, ved moden blaganon, anna togon buedo a leg be a dem de haven noiksa. Es namere fischen jam bed va. Agetorede nad jam bed sina va hasen zaradam.
Fravind madelo banigas. Agenonja marad. Asande e fleganon. Forken madad me da hadni nodaudent.
Naliet toda nemi daudeis. Alana me minundanem. Sakes rade em smiunend da holle aladachtan. Samel modenem na esem sitena bigneg. Veish toreda fridenan. A ka gona dachtam na juda da here noiksa.
Nuidet suis vansen. Fis noi ochs quan tusidet taganta bediten?
Na, es bledenem em disaunit kahe saulem. Daremau brosanamen an sed henab. An equendredem da veruva rimachamen. An is feshid an enidem sang. Ag andreg da verue brosnan an e diwi de diwi.
Es konjat kom frang se karnad. Ever di glenach elobomen ja es ankenem da me dadem hasi.
Pravind mad en enyo don feshe dahi modeni, tegen casin en jaquen rendem. Tegedesin casinamon.
Es follad emes requis esin jaquert sateniasem?
Mae sinan esquae nas ten me casin.
Es foladem oi raigames et mategedemesin. Adlo red sida suiso red. Fregarmes e veliam sientam da haioragi jageskaden.
Adlor hedwe sitri.
Eshrei da de nilan atodan e gada dag.
Vogolenta heda. Longt tira laun suis gamaman.
Au es redames macht donegada an nees hielam. Siens radida qui quod velse rigem donegadi.
Es favarshed dag. Fared veld olaun deis quesa kahan. Es ni en aginon senigusir. Sineis seniseis ag arrigo aria arigd e luchtom e maris. Farn de luiam vreg dahen on mil frichtimen suis. Ag eralam de vrego neis hadas. Sag, mendnika hadveri kasan daha henesem, adase henenai doiga. Lemat es nio lei en on e vergome doiga e suis olfuidi. Yigoiga a vogeloiga neis heneseis a neis luchtos. Sag oxo lei es ni signamender. Quan quenst neis dier quensum, que den neis evelem a neis hanimam. A quan exredem sen actionidem cahir cahisadem et talemi, adesm e garmam de hen on mil frichtimen. Ag abertidum nisais doid, da nadach doid da holeg.
Qua aulam sega diern.
Quan berda de hawlem var hasarenta.
Alright, so we got a lot of conversations to check out there and actually assimilate the information from. A lot of lore to consider as well. Anyway, This is the map. Obviously, I cannot show you the entire thing because there's a fog of war, but you can see how far I can scroll to. I don't know how big the actual island is, but you can see here that just from this, you know, where we fought those enemies for the training, that was just over there. So you could see the distance that is, and then you can see the distance between these two things. There's also this over here. We should probably go and do that quest next. While exploring the world, you'll come across signposts. They indicate the direction of various locations, and you can also rest there or just pass time. You can also travel instantly to the location of each signpost you've unlocked. So that's obviously fantastic. That's an extremely wonderful quality of life improvement. I really appreciate quick travel points because I do not like running across the same exact territory unless there's something to do there, like random encounters or gathering or something along those lines. Anyway, when you advance stealthily near enemies, a detection indicator appears above their heads. If your presence is detected, the indicator will fill up until you are perceived as dangerous, which will trigger combat. The indicator switches from an orange eye to a red eye when an enemy detects your presence. So this is the stealth stance. You can activate this with control by default, and you can also enter tactical mode and you can do some stealthy things. I am personally not going to be doing stealth here because I'm not actually a stealth character, so I didn't really try that hard. But as you can see, you can change your companion's level of autonomy during a battle if you don't wish to control them directly. The autonomous party option allows them to use their action points freely to cast skills. However, they have no access to consumables nor to skills which require them. Okay, so the shortcuts menu, click this to see the autonomous party option. Where's that? Here. Ah, let's turn it on. I think that sounds fun. Okay, I'm gonna go and attack this, and we're just gonna let our people. Oh no, oh, of course, you absolute imbecile. Why are you like this, sir? I don't know why he's like this, but yes, hopefully he's not gonna get himself killed. Oh, nice. Wow, we are doing massive damage. Actually, we are doing big damage here. And can we just attack that? There we go. Can we actually kill that? Yeah, we might be able to. My armor has just been broken, unfortunately, but that is okay. Let's do some damage. Friendly fire is obviously active. You've got to bear that in mind. Thankfully, we did get out of the way a little bit there. And as you can see, we did take some damage. Also, by the way, I was absolutely 100% incorrect about the action points. Yeah, these are your action points here, not the blue bar. The blue bar represents your mana. So that was completely different from what I actually thought it was. I actually thought that the blue bar was your action points, but no, it's actually these underneath. So they're a lot more finite than I anticipated. So that's interesting. Anyway, let's see. Let's explore what's going on here, because obviously this is one of our quest areas. And what's this? Ah, there we go. We can pick up some things. No doubt there's going to be a huge amount of stuff to pick up in this area. Aha! You've entered an area with traps. You have a chance to detect traps from the first level of survival. You can attempt to disarm them by approaching them stealthily and using the mechanic skill if you have it. Unfortunately for me, I do not have mechanic skill as far as I'm aware. You can switch to tracking view to examine your environment. What's tracking view? Wait a minute. Ah, there it is. Ooh, now that's cool. Alright, so this is tracking view. What's this? Okay, so we can actually disarm these traps. As you can see, we can even gain experience from this. This may be a really good way of gaining experience. Because this is 25 experience. 30 experience in actual fact, some of the time. Which is actually really powerful if you think about it, because for that battle that we just had, where I took huge damage for some reason, yeah, we kind of didn't get that much experience. I would have expected to actually gain more experience from combat, but I guess not. Okay, what do we have going on here? Help the hunters.
Es en contortament.
Forret moment.
Show them what we're made of.
Okay, so all I'm going to basically do is I'm just going to once again help out our archer. Just going to make sure he doesn't get picked on too hard. Our other person is absolutely fine. I mean, you can take a look at her endurance. She is absolutely incredible, so we don't really need to worry about that. And I'm kind of hoping... There we go. Yeah. You can just continue attacking, sir. I'm not sure why my guy is having problems actually, automatically attacking, because it seems like I always have to press it. That may just be because it is indeed early access, and we don't, it's not maybe going to work every single time. Or it may just be because it's very slow. Who knows? Anyway, there we go. We took this. I think it automatically takes all this stuff, so I don't actually need to loot it. Okay. I actually thought that we would be speaking to him. Right. Okay. That's kind of weird. I would have expected to speak to him, but yeah. Anyway, there's a bunch of traps in the area here. Probably going to be... Oh, hello. There are more enemies to fight. Okay. I really should have gotten some more... in my opinion, at least, I probably should have gotten some more HP. I feel pretty low in HP most of the time, actually. There we go. Nice damage. There we go.
Agongober, Quetsiart, Krechtidwe.
Oh, es farnu fradi da he hawelas jaberto essa. Es slanme, sag brender farmagelei en renon erni. Anna tugdu quada hengeri dent ector grectidor, dent quaes moi. Nasiendu degedak dent da haku voredi, bud ector nadent.
Es rade da hari ragi dagas da veru dent echteresin. En selam sadalan.
Ad lor hedar, veldezon samir safrag, es kan semelent ka neodam jam fravind.
Navel du sabaton queseis. Sag exien ad furkan dam gleusan oiorni. Sien deva roidu de hangarident. Gissen agle dem mea gongabair. Maletsen kinnen magochsam.
Fregdis quet fregtid vel, sag fregdis eden.
Inquid veludedam. Es gleusem renaiksem en nason amfrisam. Fregde de wind venum juri. Es had grimo derrig. Ma vregkam es fonteram oirk da gochsam.
Es vel es in na tegedach en fonteram, sagt tegedach sachu voridi.
Ma bruis es smeuin angeirad. Freg du
Ad lohedar, smeun du bol medesa.
Na vorredwe eduven. Es rade de hairagi request de sibidach chedawi, fragberu var hastuis. Inquid veludam. Es volade maus gaid saques. Krechti kauvrag! Forir! Smeuinem orgdu da garsama revaroidu da hangeri. Es brag me.
Es radeem tegedem sachu voridi, nat fraus an savegen.
Oh dear. Right. Okay. So yeah, it looks as though we do now need to go back. Even though, funnily enough, I think maybe I should have just specced into mechanics, to be honest. Maybe that would have been better than diplomacy. But yeah, well, whatever the case, there you go. So, massive iron jaws have trapped the hunters of your village. These traps were built by foreigners. One of them will surely help you open them. So, in other words, our friend who was, painting us at the very beginning, he's probably going to be the one that will assist us. And let's actually just be a little bit careful here. I'm just going to disarm this trap if I can. There we go. Nice. And let me disarm this one as well. I just want to make sure... Oh, okay. I took massive damage from that. Did not do a very good job. And what do we have here? We just got a bunch of extra things. We got some... I am actually bleeding, hilariously enough. Okay, wait a minute. There's a revive. This potion revives the targeted ally and restores a small amount of HP. The minor healing potion. Right, minor healing potion. Well, we should probably use that, shouldn't we? How do I actually use items? Because as far as I'm aware, it doesn't allow me to do so. Maybe I need to go here and then select something? That doesn't seem to be the case. I am actually unsure. I am unsure how this is supposed to work. That is unfortunate. It would have been really nice if I would know how to do that. Consumables. I can select consumables. No, we are already in the consumables menu. So how do I actually do that? I don't know. There doesn't seem to be a way for me to do it right now. So I guess I will just run and hope that I don't die from the bleed effect. Aha! Look at what I found here. It looks like a camp of the quote-unquote foreigners that are indeed cutting down trees, as you can see. And they did actually have a brief conversation about that and basically said they're not cutting down trees and so on, but clearly they are. And that is to be expected, no doubt. Yes. I mean, they are looking for a cure for the Malachor, and now it is starting to affect our characters' people as well. And that's obviously something that we want to try to prevent and or cure in some way or another. But as we know from various other places, this particular affliction might be a bit more difficult than anticipated. Looks like I may have found the right way to go here, as I needed to explore a little bit. I basically just added a landmark. As you see, I actually did go all the way up here. This is the logging place that we saw just now, and this is what we're going to find about the disappearing game in the forest. Or perhaps not. Apparently I found some kind of dungeon or some kind of ancient ruin that potentially we can indeed explore a little bit later on. I also found out a way that we can regenerate HP, by the way. I just tried to jump there, that's why you saw tactical view. Yes, just ignore that, thank you very much. And yeah, so basically the way you can restore your HP is just by going back to the village and just resting at the fast travel point. That is the way that I found was the easiest. I still could not figure out how to use the healing potions.
Smeons emessentia crechtiden amaradent a hole mila.
ja.
Aha, there we go. Oh, I stepped onto another one. I'm very good at this, as you can probably tell. There we go. We also found a new fast travel point. Where is the fast travel point? Cave of Knowledge. That is a Cave of Knowledge over there. I do not see the other fast travel point, so that's going to be interesting. Okay, well, let's go in here and see what these trappers have to say. Oh, you'll receive a warning when traveling into a restricted area, as any characters who spot you in these zones will be hostile toward your party. Also, if you're spotted, your relationship with the faction who has ownership of the area will deteriorate. Okay, so they're basically bandits. Okay. We might have some problems actually fighting these guys. Yes, I failed that. I'm going to travel back here because I'm going to need to rest, because otherwise I'm going to die. As soon as we get into any kind of combat situation, I'm just going to die instantly. So there is the fast travel point. Actually, I didn't see that before, but now we know where it is at least. So that's nice and easy, so we can just literally get back here without too many problems. I like that fact. Makes it a little bit easier, a little bit less punishing if you are really, really bad at seeing these traps, and or you just end up failing the skill check. Just like I did just there, because... Oh, no, not again. Are you serious? You know that I have a 75% chance to complete the disarming of these traps. That is absolutely hilarious. Okay, well, thankfully the resting doesn't seem to have any kind of penalty, so I can basically just do it as many times as I like. But I'm going to assume maybe on higher difficulties that is not going to be possible. Anyway, thankfully these traps do not get reset or anything. And let's try and sneak in, shall we?
What are you doing here? This is our camp. We've got all the permits we need to hunt as much as we want, so get out of here.
The traps you set everywhere are killing all the animals in the wood without distinction. Soon there won't be any more game to hunt.
Yeah? And? Why should I care?
Why kill more than you need? We depend on hunting too.
More than we need? But our need is infinite, child. We don't just kill these critters for food.
The skins bring in a fortune, and we're not about to give them up. You'll just have to go hunting further afield, which we'll soon be doing too, by the way.
We'll be back.
Right. Get out of here. We won't miss you.
Es samel tenyasem. Ja marad olen atlerksar naiksa. Es velda goridi dentvar haskwa hemar.
Es ra anilain. Es komim kat quedradid et yernahar. Quefravind. Es folla demesen echerem ent da yigedaunes garantamen. Anes adregamas da velumevas. Farwidatsi.
Ah, there we go. So we figured out the mystery of what's happening to the animals in the forest, and now all we have to do is drive them away in some kind of crazy scheme, I would expect. But obviously I'm not going to do that in this episode. If you'd like to check out GreedFall 2, then there is a link in the description. It has just released onto Steam into early access. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.